Welcome everyone to a fun battle here between Karadok as the Empire against Pippington as the Lizardmen. This battle will be taking place on MP Crossroads, with both players bringing some interesting experimental builds. So for Pippington and the front line of the Lizardmen, we have 2 units of Chameleon Skinks, which are very good at poisoning and slowing down flying lords such as Karl of France. We also have the Lord choice today, which is the Saurus Oldblood on top of a Carnosaur, given that armor piercing, bonus as large and anti-large. He's also partnered with the Amulet of Itzel, making the sniping potentials from such as Karl of France a lot lower. He comes through with the Rackling Runefang, which gives him the 24 plus melee attack, as well as Galmaraz for the bonus versus large. Therefore, it allows him to fly down and swoop onto lords such as the Saurus Oldblood and snipe him out nice and quickly. However, if he does have the Amulet of Itzel as well as all of these nice stats, he can punch back and take not as much damage in the process, making him so much more tanky and better at countering up against such a lord. He's also going to be partnered with the Horn of Kaikor, giving that 24 melee attack, 8 leadership and 18% charge bonus. This is in a 40 meter radius, so when it's partnered up with such cavalry as the Cold One Spear Riders, which have the bonus as large anti-large armor piercing, it gives them 15 melee attack plus all the other bonuses, allowing them to fight up against units such as the Knights of the Blazing Sun and even Demogryph Knights. So 3 units of these very expensive cavalry, and 4 units of Skink Cohorts in the front line, and 3 units of the Javelin variety. They're also going to be supported by the Croc Scores today for the bonus versus infantry, anti-infantry armor piercing, but they only have 12 models. Therefore, these Croc Scores must be supported by some other infantry. So for the last unit today, we do have the Skink Priest of Beasts, coming through with that very nice Transformation of Gadon, allowing 2 summons of that terror-causing Manticore, with a very nice 85 speed, very good at sniping up against all sorts of backline range and heroes. So we have 3 units of Shielded Spearmen here, and 5 units of Swordsmen, including the Unbreakable Sigma Suns. And in the backline here, we do have 3 units of Expensive Knights of the Blazing Sun, with that very nice 40 flaming melee attack, and the nice 25% magic resistance, and that massive 78 charge, going to be very good here up against the Lizardman Cavalry. In the pocket and the damage dealers today, we will be having the bonus for large anti-large Huntsmen, which are very good here with their Stalk, which will allow them here to counter up against those Chameleon Skinks. For the hero today, we do have the Light Wizard, who will be coming on top of a steed, and the Net of Amadtok. He can be supported here alongside the second hero, which is the Witch Hunter, for that very nice accusation for the negative armor, melee defense, and negative missile resistance, and he can fire whilst moving. Lots and lots of armor piercing, alongside accusation, can make some very good damage value. For the Lord choice today, we have Balthazar Gelt in the sky, with that very nice evasion, giving him the massive 112 speed. Luckily for him today, there will be no Pterodons and nothing to slow him down, but he will be having the Staff of Valance, as well as Greater Arcane Conduit, Plague of Rust for the negative 30 armor, negative 60 when it is overcasted, and a nice Searing Doom. So 2 very good armies here. Should be very interesting to see if the Lizardmen can deal with the 4 units of Huntsmen, as well as the Witch Hunter. Or can the Lizardmen here apply their abilities with the Saurus Oldblood and allow the Cold One Spear Riders to overrun the Knights of the Blazing Sun and get back into that expensive pocket? So I really like this ability here from Balthazar Gale, just coming forward here and just searching out all units of Chameleon Skinks. 1.2k value there, so I'm sure the Empire player here with Karadok was sure that there were some units that were missing. I really like this coming in from Pippington. The Saurus Oldblood is going to be coming around the flank, staying well away from that damage here from the bonus versus large anti-large Huntsman. So the front lines will be hitting, and let's get into it now. So the front line will be hitting. That right flank is going to be really overwhelmed here by the fear-causing Croxigors, as well as that nice infantry front line. These 3 look to be ready, but they really need to get around into the back here and start doing some damage up against the Knights of the Blazing Sun and really get onto this backline range. As you see, they are going to be pushing forward, and it looks like we are going to have an air of effect net going down. Yeah, so it's going to net all of these boys and allow the charge from Knights of the Blazing Sun to come in, and a very nice Ferromanticore here with the 85 speed coming into the battlefield. So he could snipe up against the Light Wizard, that would be a very good target, or he could push into the back here on the Huntsman. Just a nice distraction there in that pocket for the Terror. But nice charges here coming from the Knights of the Blazing Sun, as well as the bonus for large anti-large Spearmen, coming in and doing some very good damage up against the Cold One Spear Riders. Horn of Kaikor going down for the plus melee attack, and the charge and 8 leadership. So it's like the Ferromanticore is going to be going, oh, nice damage there up against the Bright Wizard. If you do lose that net there as the Empire, it's going to be very important as the game goes on. And some really good support here from the Chameleon Skinks, getting that poison here up against the Knights of the Blazing Sun. But another good counter there, shooting with the air effect damage there, coming down on top of the Cold One Spear Riders, actually forcing them to go into Rampage and then immediately breaking. Searing Doom there doing some really good damage up against the Cold One Spear Riders, some very good stuff from Balthazar Gelt. But coming free now, we are going to see the Saurus Old with Accusation on top of him, charging after the Light Wizard. The Light Wizard will have 78 speed compared to the 75 of the Saurus. The Saurus really needed to go after the Light Wizard there. Looks like he's going to turn around. Is he going to get onto him, though, is the question. It looks like he is just about going to get away, and looks like he's going to be getting shot by the Huntsman whilst moving. He's going to be getting chased by the Skin Cohorts with Javelins, and these boys do manage to get a volley off into the backside. Oh, it looks like he is going to get terrified. Some very good stuff, and the counter charge here coming from the Knights of the Blazing Sun. It looks like it is just going to push off these Poison Boys, so some very good work there. The right hand side has been won by the Lizardmen very convincingly, and as you can see, all sorts of Huntsmen are going to be getting pushed left, right and centre. But as we can see in this pocket, we are going to see units of Huntsmen coming back into the fray, and they are going to be able to shoot into the flanks of the Skink Cohorts. Bonus was large and anti-large arrows here coming into the side of the Crossguard is going to do some very good damage. Limited armor piercing, however, so the 100 armor is going to help negate that range coming from the Empire. So interesting here, you are going to see the Crossguards fighting up against the bonus large, anti-large spearmen, rather than going onto the flanks here and dealing with the very weak Huntsmen. They can push them off very quickly, and we do have some units of Skin Cohorts on the flank. In this pocket, though, we are going to be seeing the Saurus Blood, and it's very nice today that we do have Balthazar Gelt in the sky. Very lucky that there were no Pterodon Riders here, otherwise he would have been contested very heavily. As you can see, the net is going to be in the pocket. I think he's just going to be given some leadership buffs here up against the Spearmen, but he does need to get out there. He doesn't want to be getting caught up against the armor-piercing Croxagors. Over here on the left flank, we are going to see some Lizardmen pushing through the left flank, trying to get onto this backline range. We do have some swordsmen nice and close, but they really need to protect these Huntsmen. They are going to be shooting straight into the large Cold One Riders with a very nice charge here, just pushing all sorts of archers all over the place. Some really good work. And in the top, we only see the second Ferromanticore coming through here, and he really needs to chase either the Witch Hunter or maybe even going after the Light Wizard. The Witch Hunter is no joke in melee, 36 melee attack, 34 melee defense, but he can very comfortably be beaten here up against the Feral Manticore. In the back, though, we do have some Huntsmen. They will be coming through, trying to do some good damage value up against the front line. As you can see, they are going to be going after the Saurus Old Blood, as he does have Plague of Rust, giving that negative 30 armor there, putting him down to a measly 65, allowing him to be shot here up against the Huntsman. Some very good damage value going up against him, losing hundreds of health per second here. So some really good stuff here from the Quad Huntsman. But they are getting pushed in the back here by the faster Skin Cohort with Javelins. These guys do have 46 speed up against the 36 of the Huntsman. So they are going to be getting chased, but it looks like they're going to be trying to get screened out by the Swordsman. Now, if they are microed very effectively here by Pippington, they should be able to keep pushing through, and I think that's what they're going to be doing. So some good micro coming in there. Nope, it looks like they have been caught by the Swordsman, negating that attack order, but now they are going to get pushed through. So some good stuff. Witch Hunter will be coming through just to meet them and get some good damage value. Over here in the back, we do see some Chameleon Skinks breaking, but they are going to be supported by the Skink Priest of Beasts, but he does need to come through and start doing some damage onto these Huntsmen. He really needs to shut these down, otherwise it's going to take him apart very slowly here. But we do have the Saurus Old Blood alongside some Cold One Spear Riders and the nice Croxagors to do some damage up against this elite pocket. So it looks like here is Horn of Kygor gone down. So Horn of Kygor is going to go down and it's absolutely destroy these Knights of the Blazing Sun. That's how powerful Horn of Kygor can be, especially when you have some bonus for large, anti-large, armor-piercing Cold One Spear Riders. As you can see in the pocket, though, we are going to see Plague of Rust going down. If we do get Accusation as well, that'll be a negative 60 armor here, and he's going to be getting shot in the back here up against the Huntsman. Lots of damage going down on him, and Balance of Power just about pulling into the Empire favour here at this moment. And Balthazar Gelt is just going to be moving around, cackling in the sky, getting away with all of these sneaky deeds. But in the pocket, the Croxagors are really struggling. They're on their own here. They don't really have any support apart from the Cold One Spear Riders, and they're going to be taking a lot of damage for their troubles. But as you can see, the Knights of the Blazing Sun, they don't have immune to psychology, so they will be getting terrified and pushed off. So there's not going to be too much here apart from the Swordsmen to protect the Huntsmen. But it's like they are going to be beating down up against the Saurus Old Blood, so there's some brilliant work going down there for the bonus for large, anti-large, and he is going to be getting pushed off the field very quickly. Balance of power really shifting into the Empire favour. We get a nice overview of the battle. We do have some Croxagors coming back on the right-hand flank, and we do have some Chameleon Skinks really trying to get into the pocket here and do some damage value, but it does look like there's not a lot left here to shut down the majority of this force. And as we can see, we're going to be seeing Balthazar Gelt in the rare melee combat. He will be fighting up against these Skink Priests of Beasts, and looks like he's going to get away with it for his troubles. Not very known as a melee combat, Balthazar Gelt is relatively weak. Shooting the back though and shattering up against the Kroxigor, some very good work here from the Quad Huntsman, all online here doing some very good work, and a fantastic game coming from both players. I really like the ideas on both sides. This was a very experimental practice between the two of them, and they had some really nice ideas. I really like the Saurus Old Blood here from Pippington. Very good protection here up against sniping, such against Karl of France. Skink Priest of Beasts was very good with those summons in the back line and was really able to do some very good damage up against the Lightwoods and able to break him and push him off and stop those nets of Amatok from coming through. But let's jump in with Pippington and have a look at his army. So 230 damage value for the Saurus Old Blood. That's a bit of a shame. I would have expected a lot more damage value from him, especially with the Horn of Kygor, because it does buff himself as well. So it looks like no damage value there. 400, 200, 100, and 170 for the Skink cohorts. 140, 450, and 520 for the Skink javelins. I really like javelins. I think they're really underrated. Even though it's 3 volleys of javelins, it's still some really good poison damage value and allows them to get into melee combat with all of those debuffs. Community Skink 610 as well as 520, so still some very good work from them considering they have 4 units to counter them from the Huntsman. 101 kills, 1.4k here from the Coldborn Spear Riders, 260 and 900. So still performing very well considering there's far much more elite cavalry from Knights of the Blazing Sun. 91 kills for 470, 350 for 40, and 114 for 660, just showing how much the Kroxigors did struggle here in this matchup. But still, it's a really nice experimental build, and if they were filtered inside Skink cohorts, maybe they could have performed a little bit better there in that later stage of the game. But as it did separate, and very well played from Karadok, he was able to move those 4 units of Huntsmen around in a very nice U-shape, able to shoot into that pocket up against this very large monstrous infantry. Really well played to Karadok. I really like this build. So it looks like Balthazar Gelt coming in with 800 damage value, 43 for the Light Wizard, and 800 from the Witch Hunter. Witch Hunter is very nice for that Accusation, but obviously he is on foot and he's very slow and it was very easy to snipe. And Accusation's very strong with that negative armor, negative melee defense, and negative range. 180 damage value for the Swordsman, 100 and 630 here for the Sigma Suns. Very good stuff. The front line did okay, not brilliantly, but was able to hold enough just to allow the damage value from the Huntsman. As you can see, 900, 1,000, nearly 1,200 from these Huntsmen, as well as 1,700. So all of them getting at least their value because they cost about 650 each. So some really good work there. Some of them nearly doubling their damage value. 750, 1,600 and 660 for 177 kills here from the Knights of the Blazing Sun. Fantastic stuff from them. And 570, 550 and 373 with all the spearmen getting their value. So some brilliant stuff coming from both players. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a big thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Drop a comment down below about how you felt about the battle and how maybe you might approach it differently. If you are new here, maybe think about subscribing. I'd really appreciate it, as it really helps raise the YouTube channel and hopefully spreads it to everybody else. If you're also new here, you can check out my description, where it will have my Discord where all of you guys can join and talk about all things fun and Warhammer, and meet all of the awesome guys in my community so far. So I've been your boy Logic. I hope you've enjoyed your stay, and I'll be seeing you all in the next live stream or video. Take care.